Since we're playing Isaac, I forgot the rules of what we do here.
I've had some painful Isaac experiences lately.
Really?
Yeah, I've been doing every character to the dark room in a circle.
Okay.
And the keeper, like, I got all the way around it and got to the keeper and I died. So I'm like, we're going to reverse the circle and start with this guy.
Right, yeah.
Then I died 4 times on him in one day. That's so...
Damn. The keeper ain't no joke, dude.
I just finished the circle yesterday, though. It took me, like, a week and a half, though, just to get around it once, though.
On those keeper runs, did you die early or did you die late?
Late, usually, yeah.
Okay,
I can usually keep it trucking a little bit.
It's like an early keeper death is just like another day at the office, but a late keeper death is like you've invested and lost.
I only died early on Judas, that guy.
Yeah.
I walked into a room once and just got insta-gibbed.
Oh, that sucks. Is there like an item that you see early on a keeper run that you're like, alright, this run is already doomed from the very beginning? Or do you just kind of push through it?
I mean, there's a couple of bad ones. If you ever get a Curse of the Blind Isaac's Heart, you might as well just give up on life.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I don't know. I know there's ones you should be really happy about that you can find early, like the Swallowed Penny. That's the main strat. You save your bombs to the first 2 floors, and you blow up all the jars looking for the Swallowed Penny.
Right.
And
alright, I get it, chat. It still says that we're playing Rocket League. Everyone, so is that Kronovi on the screen? Hilarious.
That's like the oldest Twitch joke of all time.
It's actually the oldest joke of all time. They've actually found books written in Babylon. And
Ancient
it says,
Babylonia.
Does that doth decree Kronovi
Doth?
on the tablet? Does that doth decree Kronovi is on the Hanging Gardens of my fair city? I don't know what I'm talking about. Nick, I was hoping to grill you, dude. Because
grill me up.
You just had grill surgery.
Yeah,
you have
grill
any
me.
interesting stories
Again?
about mouth operations?
Well, I'll explain it one more time so everybody's on the same page here, what was going on. So I had an extraction and then a tooth implant surgery. Those two things are actually separate. So I had a shitty tooth with like dead shit under it that had to get killed and taken out. And then I had to have that replaced with something that would then hold a fake tooth in the place so it still looks like I have a tooth.
Right,
and
yes.
The first surgery I had at the end of July was the removing things, and I also got the root canals, or rather the wisdom teeth out at the same time. So I had 5 teeth extracted in one time. That was that. Yesterday's surgery
you
was...
You had 5 wisdom teeth extracted at one time?
5 teeth total.
I was like,
jeez. And the shitty tooth that I'm getting replaced now. So yesterday's surgery was them putting in the rod into my gums.
Yeah, my mom has that. She can pop hers off though, like her whole tooth if she wants.
Kind of scary. No, mine's like embedded in my jaw, so I'm not doing any popping.
Hers is like old school. It's like 30 years old or something,
right.
You know.
So like the majority of the surgery, I actually don't even remember that well because I took some drugs beforehand that made it kind of hazy.
Nice.
But I do remember pretty vividly there was a point where he had a screwdriver kind of thing, like a big old power drill going into my jaw at 2 different directions.
Ooh,
I was like,
daddy.
This seems like something you'd see in a horror movie.
Yeah.
But it's like happening to my face right now.
Yeah. Only really like when you go to the dentist, that's when you realize that tools are not just something that is used on like other things. Yep. Like sometimes they just treat your jaw as if it's like a piece of wood or concrete or something like that. They got like a little jackhammer in there.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
I have like vague memories of when I got my wisdom teeth taken out. Like I was unconscious because they put me out, but I have these like lingering memories of like a jerking sensation and my head being pulled to one side. Like I don't know. It's almost like I kind of came out and then went back under real quick, and it's just like a very like lingering memory that I don't quite have like the full, details of.
It's probably for the best, to be honest.
Oh yeah, absolutely
terrifying. Well, like there's 3 at the dentist where I had my wisdom teeth taken out. There's 3 kinds of anesthetic you can get for wisdom teeth surgery. One of them is just local. So they give you the Novocaine, and then you're still completely conscious while this is happening.
Fuck
and
that.
then on the other end of the spectrum is like you're knocked out completely. But then there's one in the middle where you're half conscious and you sort of feel everything, but you don't remember it. And that philosophically fucks with me on a level that I can't even understand.
I'll explain in a little more detail. So they give you a couple of like anti-anxiety pills that you're supposed to take beforehand, which kind of put you into a state where you're like just not thinking too hard about anything.
Yeah.
So kind of happens. It's not like it numbs you, but they give you local anesthetic as well. So the combination of those two things just makes it a bit less traumatic, and I did fine with that. Like, if I had to do it again, I would definitely go that route, because the other is more expensive.
I have them put me dead under, like, I'm like, I don't want to feel anything.
Did you feel fine with it, though? Or do you just feel fine with it after it? Like, that's the thing that I worry about, is that in the moment, you were like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. But then, like, as soon as the drugs wear off, you're like, I don't remember that horrible experience I just had.
No, it's not that far away from my memory. It's not like I was blackout drunk or something. I still can pretty much remember it, just I don't remember the details. And I could speak as soon as it was over, so it's not like I was, like, incomprehensible or anything.
Did they shuffle you out of the back of the office?
No.
Because
I like the implication there.
Because when my fiance had hers removed, they were like, "Oh, we'll take you out the back. Don't worry." And like they like took us out this like little
yeah,
like a sketchy little back alley drop off. Like,
well, she was probably like bleeding, right? So
I mean, she had gauze in her mouth and she was a little loopy. I guess they don't want customers to see that.
Well, I mean, I can understand if you're like a 7-year-old kid and your mom's like, hey, don't worry about coming to the dentist, and you see a lady walk out and her mouth's like covered in gauze and she needs help walking.
We were at the oral surgeon office.
Oh, okay.
So there's no, unless the kids got some really messed up chompers. And we didn't really have any. I mean, they were like 15-year-olds and stuff in there, I guess. I guess that counts. They were like older kids.
I'm actually amazingly surprised how little pain it was. I mean, granted, there was anesthetic, but once it wore off, just a little bit of swelling, and I almost feel totally normal. I didn't even take any painkillers, which just seems almost unlikely, actually. Like, I'm waiting for there to be some kind of dark turn to this somehow.
I'm amazed at how different my experience is than the wisdom teeth, or, I mean, yours wasn't wisdom teeth this time, but than the dental experience both of you are bringing up right now, because when I had my wisdom teeth taken out, it was local only. Yeah. It was, like, quite painful, actually. And then they didn't shuffle me out the back. Moreover, they didn't give me good drugs. They just gave me Costco acetaminophen. And then, you know, in a Ziploc bag. They were like, here's, like 12 Tylenols. And then, we didn't have a car, so I just got a taxi. And I took the taxi home while there was, like, blood dripping out of my mouth.
Was it free, though?
The taxi was not free, no. After we arrived, I took out my wallet while holding the gauze to my face and paid by credit card.
Yeah, that's rough.
It was a unique experience.
The wisdom teeth part was like 100 times worse than what I just had done yesterday. It actually took me the better part of 2 weeks to actually feel alright from that, and this I'm like pretty much okay now. Yeah. I just the not eating solid foods thing really bugs the shit out of me, because I didn't realize quite how hungry I'd get in one day.
Do you have like
drinking broth and shakes?
I was gonna say, yeah. Just have like chicken broth or something?
Yeah, that's what I had. It's just the antibiotics make you kind of permanently a bit nauseous, so the combination of non-stop liquid food and then that, just like I just want to eat some actual food and settle my stomach a bit.
I've been feeding soup, apple sauce, pudding, yogurt, anything to Lisa that's just squishy, basically.
She's still like recuperating?
Yeah, it's been about 7 days now, so she's gonna go back to get a checkup on Friday, so it's gonna take like a month or two for them to actually like heal up, but she'll be able to eat before that.
Yeah, it took me forever too.
It took me 2 weeks.
That's when you're old, man. That's all the kids in chat go like, I had my wisdom teeth taken out and I was back at school the next day. You don't understand. Once you cross like 20, that's when the body starts to begin its decline. You don't really notice for like a few years after that, but behind the scenes, it's all getting fucked up already.
Oh yeah, I actually, I had to have somebody with me because I got so knocked out. I had the triple threat. I got the gas, okay, and I was super happy. Then they sprayed my arm with this like frozen applier thing to put the IV in, so I didn't even feel that on the happy gas. Wow. And then they drugged me right
That's
the
like
hell
above
out.
and beyond. I never thought you needed a anesthetic for that.
Oh,
Yeah,
hell
they
yeah.
have to sedate you.
I'm like,
to
I'm gonna
put the sedative in.
I was like, I'm gonna go buck wild if you don't do this. And they were like, all right, we'll knock you out. I was like, all right. That's what I'm talking about. At least I had the same thing.
I actually have a pretty good pain tolerance too. So like the fact that my wisdom teeth got me that bad, I think is some of the most I've been in pain for a while.
Yeah. Well, I can feel you on that one. Like, I was okay with the local anesthetic. Then, like, halfway through, I was like... It just speaks to, like, social anxiety as well. Because the dentist is like, you know, let me know if you feel any pain. And I was, like, in tears. And he's like, is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, you know, it's not that bad. It's like, I don't want him to feel like he's bad at his job, so I'll
Mind
just,
over
like,
matter. Yeah.
Exactly.
Same thing for
It wasn't even
me.
the extraction that got to me. It was like the 2 days after when all the swelling hit at the same time and I couldn't eat on any part of my mouth. That was awful.
Yeah.
And then I got like kind of sick on top of it. It was just a million problems at the same time.
Speaking of which, like, how does it feel to be taking antibiotics and contributing to the rise of the global plague that will eventually wipe us all out?
I'm telling you, I'm so tired of antibiotics. This is like the 5th course of them that I've had since summer.
What are they just giving them away? Like,
They're giving them to me way more than I'd like to have them, and it's like, what, 6 to 8 days worth each time?
jeez.
So it's this big-ass, fat container full of horse pills, basically.
Antibiotics are
I have to
the
take it
worst. They're so
4
big.
times a day. In fact,
Yeah.
I have to take one at the end of this segment.
Why are they so big? Like, the pills that mess you up are like the tiniest little things.
Yeah.
And then the ones that heal you are like, give them the fat, daddy. Give them the big
300
boy.
milligrams, but I've seen that same amount in much tinier pills.
It's like dropping the bomb on Hiroshima with that thing, man. It's like
Whoa.
massive. Well, okay.
There was a time where I actually cared about, like, the physical form that my soul took, aka my health, and I got onto this track
Weird
that,
way
like,
to say it.
you know, inflammation is like the source of a lot of diseases.
Oh, I know that one. I've heard that.
What's the best way to fight inflammation? You just take like 9 to 12 fish oil pills a day, and they're like half an inch long, and they're just full of like concentrated, like cod oil or something like that.
Yeah.
At least 1 in 2 would get stuck in my throat, and I'd have to do like that half choke, like gag
you're
to get it
shooting a
down.
hot dog.
Exactly. You like swallow and it doesn't go down right, and then you take a couple more gulps of water, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know, those were the days.
Good fun.
That's the end of that. Basically, like, that's how I learned to take pills, was by, you know, I could have spent $5 and gotten the fish oil pills that were more concentrated, but fuck that, that's $5.
Yeah.
So
you
instead,
guys,
I took the
swallow
ones that were an
them?
inch long.
Regularly, or you need water assistance.
I cannot swallow a pill of any kind without water.
What?
Yeah, same. I have really bad gag reflex.
Oh my god. You just throw it in the back and glunk.
That is absurd to me.
It's bad enough that I feel like I'm going to throw up if it sits in the back of my throat too long before I swallow it. So
Oh man.
I have to be very
I can't even take an Ambien without water, and you don't even swallow the Ambien.
Oh, is that a dissolve?
You just dissolve it, and it actually tastes like you're being killed. It tastes like poison.
I bet it does.
Yeah, there's some amazingly bad taste that these chemicals in the pills have.
It's
Go
an
figure.
unbelievable taste.
And when I'm on the antibiotics, the taste of the casing of the pills just stays in my throat for the whole time I'm on it. It never goes away.
With
Yeah.
water, no problem. But like I can take a large pill, I just can't do it dry. That's not any. It's
I
nothing.
can take a large
dirty about.
pill. I just can't do it dry. Nothing weird about that at all. Just saying.
It's a very medical conversation.
That's what's new, I guess.
We're old dudes, you know. We gotta. Have you ever heard like 2 60-year-old dudes have a conversation?
Yeah.
We gotta get ready for that.
Oh,
I don't
my
know
back.
Which one of us
How's
is
your
gonna
back
die
today?
within the next 30 years to make it so there's only 2 of us? But you know,
It'll be me.
statistically speaking.
We'll have a tooth complication.
And that whole thing about like not getting your wisdom teeth out until you're older, like that's super bad. There really are like way higher risks of complications after about 25. So
Yeah.
if you have any knowledge
Yeah.
that you're gonna need them out, do it as soon as you can afford it, and try not to put it off.
Yeah,
well, if you're
dentist was pissed.
If you're going regularly, they'll tell you that with their X-rays. They'll be like, "These are impacted, and we gotta take them out." Because I had no pain with mine, and one of mine was barely poking out, and they were like, "Nope, they gotta go." I was like, "Oh, fine, I guess."
Oh. My mistake was I knew they needed to come out, but I couldn't afford the goddamn extraction and shit for like way too long.
Oh, I think I told you, but like, people are falsely under the impression that dental care is free in Canada, but it's actually like it's all out of pocket unless you have benefits. But like, I was covered under my university plan and under my parents' plan, and my dentist was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. You know, we only take them out if there's a problem." Well, wouldn't you know it? Like a month after I graduated from university, he's like, "Oh, these are messed up. These gotta go." And then it's like, becomes a lot easier to put off a surgery when they're like, it's gonna be like $2,500.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the whole set of mine was like 8,000.
8,000!
Oh!
Between the extraction and the implant, yeah.
Holy crap,
It
dude.
was actually, it was a little over 8. That just rounded to 8.
What the balls? Are you kidding me?
It ain't cheap, man. People in chat are just like, go to a country where you can do it for free. It doesn't really work that way.
I don't think you can just do that.
It was $1,800 for Lisa.
They pay their taxes so you can do that shit. Like, I'm not paying taxes there. It's just not right.
If you go to the like emergency room here, there's a sign on the wall that's like, "Hey, make sure you bring your care card," which is like what identifies you as a citizen of the province. Because if you don't, your emergency room visit is going to cost you $800. So basically, we're on that shit. You fuckers can't smuggle your way up here.
We had a $3,200 emergency room visit last time I went.
Jeez.
And only $1,200 of it was covered by the health insurance, and literally all they did was hook some like equipment up and monitor the person, and that was it.
I love how
and they're like, "You're fine."
Usually, there's a poster that's like, in the event that we have to transfer you to something out of care of your service, like we just will do that, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, well, it kind of matters to me. I died, by the way.
It's an interesting run.
I have not found anything remotely good. Just about like maybe a cube of meat is about the best thing I'm working with.
Yeah, similar. Someone in chat said you're not old until you've had your first prostate exam. I don't know
like
if we talked
50.
about this on the show, but dude, I'm pushing to get the prostate exam like every time I go to the doctor. I don't want to die. Like, that's a huge part of my motivating like existence. Like,
if you're gonna be there, just knock it all out at once.
Yeah,
just
I'm like,
give them the once over.
I'd rather die than have the doctor stick a finger up my butt. No way, dude. It's all covered. Give me the prostate exam. Put me in the MRI machine. Like, I want this all taken care of ASAP. That's what the tax dollars are going for.
All right, maybe it's different here, but I thought you could only have it be covered like once every so often and only under certain circumstances.
It's probably actually the case. But
I mean, if they just offered it, they're just like, here it is. You want one? Sure, why not? I guess. So,
but people are like, you know, oh, when you turn 50, are you gonna let the doctor do the exam? Like, hell yeah.
Is there this like subtext that it's like, oh, you know, it makes you actually gay, right? Like,
the forbidden fruit.
Once you find out how good that finger feels, you're never gonna want to go back.
Well, I saw someone in chat say, like, why don't you just do it yourself? It's just a finger. It's like,
you gotta do what you're looking for.
We're not medically trained for that.
It feels less like you're getting a finger up the butt if you do it yourself, and more like you're putting your finger up somebody else's butt. But then the other thing is, I don't know what I'm looking for. Like, if I put my finger up there, first off, I'm not double jointed, so I don't know how my elbow is gonna do what it needs to do there. But then I don't even know what I'm looking for up there. You know, it's all, you know, like
probably just get
paranoid.
paranoid.
House, you go to like a haunted house and they put a blindfold on you, and then they're like, "Put your hand into my boiled eyeballs," and it's just peeled grapes. It'd be like that. I mean, I don't know what that is. Is that my prostate, or is that, you know, what I had for breakfast this morning?
You probably develop a complex,
isn't it?
I have no idea. That's why I need a doctor.
Like, I don't know if your finger would reach that far.
And look, if you did find something, what are you supposed to do? Google it? Like,
right?
You don't know how to handle it. You don't know what the next step is.
Phone,
Then you're supposed to get a doctor.
Halfway up your ass, trying to take a picture inside your colon.
The doctor's gonna be like, "All right, drop your pants. We're getting the sizers out. And we're going in after it." Like, you know, take 8 weeks of antibiotics.
The sizers, yeah.
Well, I was thinking of the Pokemon kind of popped into my head for a second.
Oh, getting the Scythers out.
Yeah, the Scyther.
Send
the Scyther in after the butthole.
Biting on it with his teeth.
On second thought, maybe I don't want this exam done. This show got weird way too quick. Oh, get over it. You know, we're all gonna have our prostate exams someday. Even the ladies amongst you, the way the world's going right now.
Oh god.
It's kind of like this is a meaningless sentence, really.
The implication that the world's so shitty that women are gonna grow prostates so they can have them examined.
Because the water's so fluoridated, you never know what that's gonna do. You know? Well, dude, people are always like, I think we've talked about this on the show before, but if you guys like, I mean, I don't mean this to throw shade, okay? But like, I get a physical every year because it's paid for, you know? Like we pay for it, so you might as well take advantage of it, or you're leaving money on the table, right? It sucks getting a physical as like a 27-year-old dude who's not a pro athlete, because they're just like, well, like you're not a lady and you don't have symptoms of anything serious, so why are you wasting my time? Well, I just want to know if, you know, maybe there's some kind of underlying thing I should be concerned about. Like, I don't really know if I have leukemia or something, right? Maybe you could run the leukemia test on me or something. They're like, nah, just go home.
I think you're a hypochondriac.
Dude, yeah. I think I am for real though, because I mentioned shit like that. Like, I've been having this and that symptom, and she's just like, yeah, but you're 31, so like we're just not gonna test you for any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But what if I'm the outlier? It's like we're not just gonna test you. Like, you don't want that test.
I might die too. Oh my god, what is going on here? Oh, I have half a heart
I want
left.
that test. I'm already here. The hard part is getting to the doctor's office. Stick a needle in me, you know, check every orifice. I'm already here.
So they do those in India, right? Like, you go to those all-in-one medical centers, and you can have every test in the world done for like $3,000.
Oh.
You could just be good for like 10 years.
I just died too. What the fudge, monkey?